This is our Silver Shamrock, baby.
6 more days to Halloween.
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 6 more days to Halloween. Hello, everyone. It's Halloween time. Welcome to another episode of Horror and Coffee. And today we are going to talk about our top 5 Halloween moments in the franchise. We're talking about all of them, from the original John Carpenter classic, all the way through the Rob Zombie remakes, all the way through even the new movies that are coming out, starting with the 2018 Halloween. So we got it all going on here. It's early October. We're all here having our coffee and or whatever else you want to put in these cups. And I have my 2 guests here, my partners in crime. In these moments, we have Jamel Lopez from Jedi vs. the Dark Side. Check out his channel. And then you also got here from Levels of Geeks. You got Alex Figueroa. He's got his channel going on. As a matter of fact, if I can just plug this in real quick, we are in the midst of going through Levels of Horror on his channel. Make sure you check that out. On, when is it? Mondays and Wednesdays?
Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. We're going to do Levels of Horror this whole month of October, and we're going to start off with the ranking of Halloween.
Yeah.
So the whole community is going to bring their rankings, and then they're going to share it with us live, whether it's by phone or by the chat. And we're going to have a panel of Ralph. He's going to be on that panel at 9, and David from Talking. A lot of people liked him in the community, and he wanted to come back. So he's going to be coming back, and his favorite franchise is also Halloween. So I got 2 people that enjoy Halloween. It's going to be a really good night on Monday. So it's almost time.
It's almost time, boys and girls, for the big giveaway, man. Don't forget to wear your masks.
Yep.
Wear your freaking masks. Anyway, I should talk like this for the rest of the night.
Yeah. But all right, so let's get right into it. I'm excited for this.
I'm very excited for this because, as a matter of fact, I'm so excited for it. I actually made a video about the history, a real quick history lesson on the history of Halloween and how it affected the movies all the way up to the John Carpenter classic. I actually posted that this past week. I'll put a link down below, ladies and gentlemen, for you to check it out if you get around to it, or if you want to get around to it, whatever you want. It's a free country. Now, having said that, we have 5 moments. I have 5 moments. Alex has 5 moments. Jamel has 5 moments. Now, if you remember Friday the 13th, I'll put it up so you can check it out later. We had a top 5 Friday the 13th moments. And next to Michael Myers, Jason is, again, one of the most famous masked killers. In fact, if you think about it, throughout all of history, guys, throughout of cinematic histories, there have been masked killers in the past. So it's not like it was that much of an original concept. But out of serial killers, the first 2 people you think of usually would be Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers. And Michael Myers came first. Halloween came first before Friday the 13th did. So that's a deep thing. I want to start before the top 5 to share for us to, because I did this with the Friday the 13th, our movie theater moments.
Okay.
All right. So
Okay.
I'm going to start with you, Alex. Actually, what was the last Halloween movie, the Michael Myers, that you saw in the theater, and what your thoughts were about it?
Well, it's pretty funny because it's going to be obvious. It's not obvious, but it's going to be everybody's because it's going to be David Gordon Green's 2018.
Yes.
The newest one, the reboot.
Yes.
I seen the reboot. Me and my wife went to see it. I enjoyed it. I wasn't too thrilled with it. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I wanted a little bit more. So that what I could say with that. But I'll take it even back. Halloween H2O was the one that I saw in the theater.
Oh, okay.
And let me just tell you, it was me, Pablo, La Flosia.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of us in the theater, and I love that one. I'm telling you right now, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, no way. I think that is one of the best sequels in that whole franchise. I haven't seen it. I want to see it this week because I'm starting to rewatch them again for the rankings for Monday. But from what I remember, that was the one that I really enjoyed in the whole franchise. I thought it was really good.
I will never forget how Michael Myers did a nice blowout on his mask hair for Halloween H2O. You got to admit, that hair looked the best. I think he went back in time, looked at his previous movie and said, you know what? God, it looks all matted and messed up. I need a do. And he went, and he got it because that's one of the things I always notice about that mask, Alex.
The H2O?
Yeah, the hair is like perfect.
Yeah, and the thing is like what made me really enjoy that one is because it was like 40 years later, 20 years later.
20 years, H2O.
Yeah, 20 years later. Yeah. So I liked that. It was like a big hype on it. Jamie Lee Curtis came back, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. But then what made me go even crazier, because I'm a big Psycho fan, is the fact Janet Leigh made her final appearance on film. I think it was her final appearance on film.
Yeah.
Was H2O, and then you got to see the Psycho car one more time.
Yeah. What a callback.
So that was a very good callback. Yeah. And that one scene that got me, even in the theater, that the whole theater went crazy, was when she locks the kitchen door in the circle, and then you see Michael and her face at the same time. Yeah. And it was just like bing, 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 bing. And I was like, oh my God, run! I was like, get out of there! Like, it was just a great moment, especially it was in the 90s, right?
98.
Yeah. So it was like the whole Scream era kicked in, so everyone was into that whole slasher, what was it? Come on. I Know What You Did Last Summer was around that time.
Right.
That, that whole Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, all those stabbing movies was like so big, and bringing back Michael, I think, was the right time. But then we will talk about it.
Well, we'll talk about it definitely.
Right off the rails after.
If I had to think, of a memorable movie moment for me, you see, when the first few films came out, I was still too young and I didn't go to the theaters yet. I was in middle school and everything, and even younger. I do remember that the first Halloween movie I did see in the theater was in the Valentine Theater on Fordham Road. For those of you who remember the Valentine Theater, that's where we went to see Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. That had a young Danielle Harris playing Laurie Strode's daughter. And you see that whole thing. And I remember me going to the movies, my cousin Eric, he always came with me, my sister, and I think my friend Norman was there. I think he might have been with us for that one. But we went and saw this, and it was just so amazing seeing this whole thing take place on the big screen and all that. It was a memorable time for me, and I remember enjoying. I was already in college at this point, so I was already walking around with the ding, 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 ding. As a matter of fact, you know what I used to do every morning on Halloween when I would wake up? I would take my soundtrack. I had the vinyl soundtrack of Halloween, and I would literally play it first thing in the morning. Got to set the tone.
I thought you said that you're gonna cue it. So once you wake, like it's your alarm, you go ding ding ding. Ding.
Hey, that would have been a good way to. The yawning would have been synced in, like, oh,
Ralph, your coffee's ready.
I'm like, sorry, thank you. True, good point. Jamel, what about you? You have a memory?
My last memory in the movie theater for Halloween was you remember we went to go and see Halloween 2.
Rob Zombie's
Halloween 2.
We went to see it at the Palisades.
Yes.
In Rockland.
At the Palisades. It was you, me, and Victor.
Right,
and
Victor, fellow horror and coffee. Yes.
Yes, and we actually saw it, and I remember we both left with our heads shaking, like, I don't know.
Like, what the hell did we just watch?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I know both of us were saying that, we liked it, we disliked it, I think what I took back from that was that Rob Zombie wanted to end this film in 2 parts.
Okay.
And the way he did it was the way I would have pictured the original series ending, and that would be that Laurie Strode would end up in a psychiatric ward. That she would go crazy with all this trauma that she's witnessing.
Yeah.
I think it gave a little hint from Halloween H2O, where if you notice that Laurie Strode was taking medicine.
Yeah.
To block out her memories or to calm herself because she was suffering from, I think it was
post-traumatic stress.
Yes. So, every time she looked at the mirror, that's the only face she saw. She saw Michael's face, and right away she would close her eyes, open it, he would just disappear.
Yeah.
So I felt that the ending of this one really paint a picture that this is how this should have ended. With her being in the hospital.
And it's funny that you brought that up, because I think that was another memorable moment in the film too. Because she's closing her eyes and he's really walking towards her, and the crowd was going crazy. They were like, "Run!" Because she's like closing her eyes, and you see him walking until the security guard walked in. I think it was, or her husband or boyfriend, and then he got killed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta watch it again.
It's hard to watch it again. I only watched the hospital sequence. Because it was a good callback to the original Halloween 2 from 1981, which is arguably my favorite one. But
it's funny, I gotta finish it before I went live. We were finishing it, watching it. I was watching the TV version, and I was like,
no, TV version's bad.
Yeah, I was like, this is not a good cut of the movie.
So let's go. The freaking music. I'm like, why are you putting that in there like that when they're running to the car? Yeah. Then nobody's even dying at that moment.
In the original?
Yeah, they have a TV version of Halloween 2.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah,
that's the one with the end where the boyfriend was in the
Jimmy
the ambulance that he was with the ambulance.
And she was like, "We made it." I'm like, "No, you didn't make it."
And then when you see the theatrical version, it just cut straight to her face.
Yeah. The theater version much better.
Yeah.
Much better. All right, so let's do this. We're going to start with, we're going to start number 5, work our way down one at a time, starting. Jamel, what is your number 5 Halloween moment, or Michael Myers moment, or whatever moment? By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this includes Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. We're going across the whole board here. So
okay.
All right.
So we're going that way.
My number 5 is from Halloween 6, the director's cut, and the scene is the ending, and I would like to explain this ending because this ending made perfect sense from the theatrical version. This one it goes into the same scene, but they added a twist to it where I don't know if you remember the ending of Halloween 6 where they're running from Michael in a dark area with a red light, and they keep going. It's like a long corridor.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they just get trapped with the gate and everything, and they go through this whole cat and mouse thing. In this one, you see a young Paul Rudd get dressed like one of the druids. And he actually is the one that steals the baby.
Yeah.
They're not looking, and they meet up with the mother, with also Dr. Loomis. And what happens is that the doctor puts the mother and the child in the elevator while Paul Rudd is doing some sort of ritual where he had studied through the book of Samhain, where he put stones on the floor and cut his hand and put blood on the floor, and then when Michael was right in front of him, he just said Samhain, and Michael just stopped and did nothing. And he starts to realize that, oh, it worked. So I guess he didn't think it was gonna work, and it actually worked. And what happens is that he's able to go and meet the people in the car, but this is the scene where the doctor goes back, and when he goes back, he sees Michael on the floor, and he notices that that's not Michael because he takes the mask off, and it's the other doctor. So, and then at that moment, he looks at his hand. He starts to realize something's wrong, and he looks at his hand, and he notices that he has the same mark that Michael had.
Oh yeah, the mark of Cain they called it.
Yeah.
Right over here.
He starts to realize that he was one of them. That he didn't really understand it, and that's why you see him start yelling and screaming. That's why when you saw the theatrical version, you saw him go back, but you really didn't see anything. All you heard was his voice screaming and the Michael mask, and then it cut into the jack-o'-lantern. So you're basically thinking that he died.
Yeah, I have to say that movie didn't really left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I knew it was a sequel to Halloween 5, which I liked actually when it came out. I did not like it. It felt anticlimactic and rushed, in my opinion, and but that's me. A lot of people like it. A lot of people liked that movie.
Yeah,
I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. And I've only seen it once.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bad I didn't like it. I didn't want to bother seeing it again. But maybe I should see the cut you're talking about. Maybe it's been a long time.
It actually goes more into the whole cult of Sam Hain.
Right, but
it goes really deep into that. It's not like how the theoretical version was. They were juggling too many things into one basket and hoping to get a good ending. This one really goes into the whole cult on Sam Hain and how Michael is involved in all this, and how is it that he's not been able to die like a normal human being. So it really goes deep into that.
Alex, what is your number 5?
It's funny because like I don't remember as much deep into the moment, so like I can't talk about it like in depth like that. Like that's very in depth.
Sure. No, that's fine.
Until I rewatch it this week. But I mean, I could say I just finished watching. Not finished yet, but I could say Halloween 2 when the nurse tells Dr. Loomis that they held the files from him, and I was like, well, that's kind of douchey. Like especially like think about it. Like the guy was with him for 15 years or whatever it was.
Yeah,
right?
15 years.
In the movie, it was 15 years. And you mean to tell me they had an exclusive freaking file? Like, that's mad douche to find out that Laurie Strode, like, was his sister, which I was just like, but it felt like so, it didn't work.
Yeah.
It felt like the scene was flat. Like, I thought if it was something like, I don't know, if they found another way to explain it, but I just felt like she was like, well, I have to tell you something while the guy is driving. And he's like, look, like, it was weird. Like, you have the sheriff driving, and she goes, I got to tell you something, Dr. Loomis, and he cuts her off. And then he says, which makes no sense. And he goes, I don't understand why you
Wait, you sound like Macho Man Randy Savage. You don't sound like that.
Right?
What are you being nerds?
Yeah. So then she goes, Dr. Loomis, I got to tell you something. So he goes like, what is it? And I'm like, okay. Right? So I'm laughing. And then she goes, well, there was a secret file, like a classified file that the governor had.
Yeah.
And Michael is the brother of Laurie Strode, and she took it to parents and all this crap. And he goes, oh my God, you gotta turn the cars around. Right? And then the guy's like,
Elizabeth, down that aisle.
Right? So I'm laughing, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And then the guy's like, well, I have orders. And he goes, well, I got a gun. And he goes, well, you can't do nothing. He goes, well, if I shoot this gun, what do you turn the car
what do you officers do? Fire a warning shot? Bah! Yeah.
And then he shoots the warning shot in the cartridge, and I was like, this is so, like, mad, like, my screen started oozing cheese because it was just, like, mad cheesy. Like, he found out in the back of a police car getting escorted out of the town. And why would the governor remove the guy who knows how to capture him away from the situation? Like, that's what made me even laugh. It's like, I have to take you away, but he's killing again. I gotta get him. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I'm real intense. Yeah.
Dr. Loomis' famous moments, but he had funnier moments.
He had very fun. He like, shut him 6 times. Oh my goodness. He goes, is that the boogeyman? Of course it's the boogeyman.
You remember when he scared the kids in Halloween 1?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Johnny.
Get your tummy.
Get your ass away from there.
Yeah.
That was
I'm
good.
gonna get you. Get him. Oh my god.
Yo, you're crazy, dude.
Nah,
Um,
but yeah, that was like actually I gotta say that's that's my top 5 out of the whole franchise. I mean, it is big. It's a big
What
part of the franchise.
Here's
so.
but here's the thing. In the original Halloween, John Carpenter didn't write that in. That wasn't part of the original idea. That's why it was written in Halloween 2.
Yeah.
They fed it. They wanted to milk it, so they added, "Oh, how about this for an angle?"
But you know what? The angle worked.
It did.
If they presented it more better in the story.
Because he
Like,
went after his
right.
sister, then he went after
Yeah.
his sister's daughter, and then he went
Yeah.
after his sister's daughter's daughter,
Well-
and then he went after.
But
Well,
that's the
if you-
thing.
Well,
Yeah.
if you remember in Halloween, I think it was Halloween 1 or the beginning of Halloween 2, there is a scene where Laurie is a young girl in the hospital trying to talk to him. And he's
That's
not.
the TV version.
That's the
That's
TV,
the TV
version.
version.
Yeah.
Okay,
why you talk to
so basically, it's not like her not knowing that he was his sister a big secret. Had they used that scene in the theatrical version, I think everybody would have understood.
Well,
But they actually took it away for a suspense kind of thing to
Yeah.
keep it a secret.
yeah.
And so that's why they had that scene where she's like, Dr. Loomis,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
has a sister.
Yeah, but the problem
Well-
is, I think I would have made it. I think it would have been more better if Dr. Loomis told Laurie Strode, like when they were running through the hospital, and he.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah. By the way, the reason why he's going after you is because he's your brother, Laurie Strode. No, but no.
You're a sibling!
Yeah. You gotta know why she's picking you. It's because you. It's because he's your brother. No, but I think that was a good one. Yeah, yeah.
sorry.
We gotta get out of here. It's evil. No, but seriously though.
Dude, I'm
Like,
gonna pee. Stop.
No,
Yeah.
but seriously, I think I think it would have been delivered a little bit better, and
Oh,
that's the only
man.
thing maybe I could say the knock on the new movie
Yeah.
is that they should have left it as the brother, because I think it would have been more suspenseful.
Yeah.
That he didn't get to finish killing off his sister, so he's like, I'm coming back for you, like
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it would for me it would have been a better story driven than
Yeah,
taking
I mean,
that away. And
That's
rebooting it.
that's definitely something we can definitely explore as we move on. But
And it's not,
Let me
it's
tell
not like it's not like they did any justice for Dr. Loomis in the reboot either.
No,
Well,
that was whack.
no, it was
His
whack.
Son, they should have gave him his son.
Yeah.
or daughter.
Yeah,
like Mrs.
yeah.
Loomis or something.
Okay, so here's my number 5. I call this Needle Eye, and this from Halloween 2, the same 1981, right? What I liked about Halloween 2 in 1981 is that it had a kind of darkness. It was dark, it was creepy, it was mysterious. The music really set the tone. And one of the things that it showed was the scene where one of the nurses went looking for Dr. Mixter. That was his name. That because Laurie had she was either pretending she was in shock or something. Something happened that the drug Jimmy saw her like comatose. And he went and got the nurse, and the nurse went to go find Dr. Mixter. When she went into his office, it looked like he was just looking at his fish tank, but he was dead. And she turned around the chair, and he had a hypodermic needle stuck right into his eye. That was creepy.
Precise.
That was serious. And as she was like gasping, like, oh my God, you see materializing behind her from the dark Michael Myers' mask. Oh, that was amazing. And he grabbed her and he injected. She didn't go right into her eye. She went through her temple, actually. Mm-hmm. And whatever he put in there killed her. That was very dark, very creepy, evil. It was very evil. Like, this was classic Michael Myers, as far as I was concerned. So I really loved that scene. You can't really say much about a scene like that because it's so dark. There's nothing to really talk about except how dark it is. Yeah. That's
It's
a really
evil.
dark. Yeah, it's an evil scene.
Yeah.
Number 4. What's your number 4, Jamel? What's your number 4?
My number 4 is from Halloween 5, and it's Mikey's death scene. Now, I don't know if anyone's seen Halloween 5. There is a character that is really annoying.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Mikey was one of those kids. It's like this kid looked like he should have been alive in the 50s. He has the high water jeans with the leather jacket,
and he had the nice car.
He had the nice car and everything.
He was like Biff from freaking Back to the Future.
Yeah. So when it comes to his death scene, I crack up about this because it's like you don't see Michael, but you see it looks like a guarding rake.
Yeah.
And he hits it on the guy's car and just rakes it.
He just went
going down.
Yeah, like that. And he just lost his mind.
Oh, yeah, he did. And he think he was going to get the better end, but Michael just grabbed him. And this is one of the things that I love about the original series is that when it comes to the death scenes, there's a certain angle where you see it. It doesn't really look like the person, but when he actually hits it, it looks like he's hitting like a dummy. And it makes that weird sound, like if it was like hitting a piece of wood.
Yes.
And it's like,
it's
a funny thing. It happens in a lot of Halloween films.
Yeah.
You know, so that scene was really, 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 it was strange, but it was really good.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at Alex's imitation of Dr. Loomis is driving me nuts.
Macho Man.
Get it over there, Michael. You got problems. Anyway, Alex, what's your scene?
My number 4 is it's a funny scene.
Okay.
Is when Busta Rhymes fought Michael Myers.
Oh, Jesus.
Remember that?
Oh, God, that was Resurrection.
Yeah, he had the karate going. I was like, why everyone has to do karate when they fight a slasher? But he learned judo because he didn't know what the hell it was. You do not know. You don't know what it is. Because I was like, man, yeah, that was like I'm not saying. I mean, I was goofing. That's like the crappy moment. But if I had to pick like a serious moment in the franchise, I will go the 2018 version where he's in the outside and then it starts to blink. With the yard, the back.
Wait, I'm confused. Which is the
guy?
4th? What's your number 4?
My number 4 is number 18. Number 2018.
I'm sorry. I thought it was.
No, I was goofing around. It was the reboot from 2018.
Okay, an honorable
Dracula
mention.
kid was walking through someone else's backyard, and then you see the light goes off, and then he starts getting closer.
Yeah,
and I'm like, let me just tell you right now, I have a house, and it's not that precise. That it just blinks like that. That's movie magic. Because my joint goes off like really fast. Like if you do this to the sensor, like the lights will just go on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the minute he goes like this, 2 steps forward, my light will go, ha-ha! I got you. Like, you ain't doing no tricky with me.
Oh, man.
But no, that was actually a pretty cool moment because I think that was like the kind of the big kill, I guess, because he put him right through the gate with the chin. Like, coming out.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. In the movie.
That was a creepy. That definitely was a creepy moment. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that one was. Oh, I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. Well, my number 4 is what I call Got Teeth, and it's from Halloween 2018 as well.
Yeah,
the famous bathroom scene when one of the reporters that they just came from the hospital. Well, they actually came from interviewing Laurie Strode herself, and then they stopped at a gas station, and lo and behold, Michael Myers just happens to be in that same gas station. I don't know how that happened. Did he follow them? I don't even know. I just know that she was in the bathroom, and for the record, let me just say, unless it's a real dire emergency, you just avoid bathrooms at gas stations at all costs.
I don't get it.
In a Halloween film? Yes.
Right? So she's in there, and then, hello, it says somebody's in here. I'm taking a poopy, whatever. And then what happens is he starts shaking the door, and then that's when he drops the teeth. Now, he had just finished killing the mechanic in the next room, so he was able to put on the mechanic's outfit. But he didn't have the mask on yet.
Yo, what's with the teeth, man?
And he took
I thought that
his
was pretty
teeth.
cool.
Oh,
You know,
really?
I guess, yeah, that was definitely creepy. That was,
Yeah,
I
it was-
thought that was creative. I like that concept. You know, now he killed the guy, right? So he took his teeth. And then he decided to drop. I mean, talk about psychological mess up before you kill someone. He dropped the teeth right there on the tile floor, right in front of her. And I think at this point she knew it was him, because then the other guy came in to fight him off, and that didn't work. So
You know, that was the stupid thing I hated about that movie.
what?
Is the fact that these podcasters
Mm-hmm.
go visit him at the psycho ward,
Right.
antagonizes him,
Yeah.
by showing him his mask. Everyone's going bonkers, and I'm like, oh god, here we go. He's gonna want to go after the mask, which he did. And it's like you did not know the consequences of this guy. Like if you are a podcaster and you followed Michael's history, you know the danger and the power this guy has in killing somebody.
Right.
But these people antagonized him, and it was like, oh, okay. And then the minute he sees him, he's like, you know, they start fighting one. I'm like, it's like, come on, what podcasters? First to get his actual authentic mask from somewhere. Like, where the hell did he get that mask from? Like, this is his
Yeah,
authentic
that's
mask.
kind
From,
of strange. That's
yeah,
kinda
where can a
strange.
where can I get Michael Myers' mask that he reigned terror with, and then go, hey, Michael, steps in front of him and go, hey, look, you missed this? You know?
Yeah. Say something, you know?
Yeah, so I'm like, and then when he sees him in front of him, and then he's like all scared, and I'm like, you guys are podcasters. You follow his thing. You kind of know why are you stopping off at a like. It just for me,
You
it's
kind of
so
pulled
weird.
you pulled a trigger there, man.
Yeah.
Huh?
They pulled a trigger.
Yeah, they pulled a
Yeah.
trade. Like, yeah, it was. And then my thing is like, how the hell did he know where they were? Unless he had GPS. Like,
Yeah,
was
maybe he
all
had
thinking, like-
GPS.
He's like, oh look, this guy's at the gas station.
Uh,
I'm getting
oh.
my mask back.
What a coincidence.
But that
Oh, look,
scene
he
was
posted
kinda
on
hot, though.
Facebook. He's on the gas station. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go check him. Michael Myers has a
Maybe.
Facebook account now.
He went like this. He was like, bing, 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 bing. Oh,
Ding,
he went like, bing, bing, bing. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna
No,
go
but
there.
I mean, I don't know. I think that was that could be the biggest moment of that movie, is when he gets the mask and does the slow motion. He puts it on,
Yeah.
and then he looked like Matt Jiggy because he's standing there, and it could have went GQ for Halloween.
Yeah,
'Cause he had
that's when everybody was like,
that
"Oh,
look.
that's it. It's on."
Yeah, it was on like Donkey Kong. He
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
standing there like he was like, for men that dies. Yeah,
Michael,
that would have
for
been the
men.
slogan, to die for. And like the
Get
Michael
your
Myers
own-
perfume.
Oh, 1-800-SCREAM.
Yeah.
Slash.
Slash. Okay, great. All right, number 3. You know, it's funny. As we continue on, I have to make a note here. You know, what's funny is that Halloween has undergone, if I'm correct, if I'm counting this right, about 1, 2, 3, 4 revisions in the last, since its beginnings over 40 years
Right.
ago.
Right.
And, but there's one constant, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that is that Michael Myers, no matter how he kills, it's never the kind of comical way that you see. Because remember when we talked about Friday the 13th, how it almost became like a cartoon? The way Jason would like kill this, after a while it became like funny instead of something scary. That never happens with Michael Myers. There's nothing funny when he kills.
I think it's pretty hard to do that.
It really, you can't make
But
you can't.
Michael is that type of character that you can't really change his
Yeah.
mannerisms.
No.
Because it's like he doesn't have any. It's
Right.
like he's just walking.
At least
He'll just walk
Jason's
and just
pissed.
Look at you and then you're done.
Yeah, at least Jason's mad. Michael's not
Yeah.
even that. It's
Yeah.
just like a blank there.
Well, that's the cool part because
Right.
you really don't know his expression. He's just killing them. Like he could be
And
struggling.
and the mask.
Oh,
And-
but if you watch,
Do that again, Alex.
He's like, "Ah, ah." But in the inside, he's like mad blank. Like,
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
no, but if you watch Rob Zombie's version of Halloween,
Oh,
that
wow.
Michael Myers has like temper tantrum, and
Yeah.
he goes way off the line. with
I
his
didn't.
film.
Yeah,
like-
I got issues
It's
with
not
that.
like one slice. It's like it's like he's beating meat with a meat
Well,
cleaver.
You know, one thing though, I know a lot of people got beef with the Rob Zombie one. I kind of, I'm a 50-50 on this one because I kind of enjoy with the aneurysms he gave Michael. It felt more of a psychopath killing,
Yeah.
like a rage. The movies made it look like I'm like, wait, if this guy's a regular dude and he's lifting people up, like dudes that are like 180 pounds, and he's like, and then he takes one kitchen knife and he stabs the kid through the door, and I'm like, this is not actually believable, people here. Like he holds one dude with the force and stabs him with a kitchen knife that's like this big, and then goes through the guy's torso into the damn wood in the back. I'm like, and it hangs there, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this is a human. I mean, I know people say, but he's not a human. Like, you know, the whole Loomis, but but
Shot him 6 times.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just that part. That's why I think, like, for me, that's the reason. Like, I could never put Halloween as one of my biggest Halloween franchise. Like for Halloween, like for me to go, oh, I want to watch it because it's like a lot of unbelievable parts. Like, I'm just like, oh. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not knocking your thing because I know you love the franchise and stuff. But there's a lot of questionable things. Like, I was watching, too, and I'm like, a hospital that's fully empty with no patients. Just 2 babies in a baby ward. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Then you got Halloween 1. The guy is killing mad people, but instead of making an FBI bulletin, no, we're going to let the sheriff take care of it. And it's like 2 doofuses going... You know, Loomis and whatever is going after it. I'm like, this is not even. And then the reboot is the same stupidity. The Lucis, and then I'm like, and I said it even in the theater. I'm like, if we're doing a modern take of a serial killer breaking out, you get U.S. Marshals would have been here in a heartbeat. The FBI would be here in a heartbeat and lock down the whole thing.
Yeah, the FBI hasn't even been involved in any of this.
Yeah, none of this movie is like, hey, we're gonna have 8,000 people die before we let the government take care of it. But that's the thing. I mean, I know people can be like, it's a movie, but it's just kind of funny. You just sit there going, damn, he killed how many people? And the sheriff is like, I don't believe you. And Dr. Loomis is like, Michael, I've been with him for 15 years. Trust me, he's alive. Oh my God, when they killed that kid, he's like, run. He's like, get away. And then the kid is like walking mad stiff. I'm like, why is he walking stiff? It's a kid in a suit. He gets rammed in the car.
And the car crashes into the ambulance. The whole thing blows up.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, so over dramatic. And he goes, in a half an hour, meet me in the doctor's office and I'm going to check his dentals.
I think the only impressive thing that I saw that Michael Myers did in the Rob Zombie version is when he actually stabbed the nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The eating room where I think Michael and Dr. Lewis was having lunch when they were talking about his mother, and then she made a comment and he actually stabbed her with the fork.
Oh, that was crazy.
Crazy.
And that was the last time you ever heard him say a word.
Yeah, he didn't say anything. He was already not talking at that point.
Yeah, because remember the guy, I think was a...
They were talking. Him and his mom were talking.
I was like,
Loomis.
that was very impressive.
Yeah.
You impressed me.
There's certain elements that was good in the remake.
Yeah,
I mean, it was certain things, but the movie just fell off the roof. It was
It was just a little bit over the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to move this along to number 3. Our number 3 most moment. You know, it's funny. We're talking about our number 3s, but we keep shoving in other ones, right?
Yeah,
we keep throwing in another one and another one because there's so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Jamel, what's your number 3?
What's your number?
My number 3 is from Halloween 2, and it's Michael Myers kills the security guard.
Oh, hammer time.
So that scene was kind of crazy. Like I said, it's like how Michael Myers films, the kills are like really strange because he goes and he hears the security guard hears something. Next thing you know, he opens the door and he closes it. Next thing you know, it's Michael Myers with the hammer, and all you hear is that's it. Ding.
Yeah, you know what I liked?
The balcony and went. Tud. It went.
You know what I liked? I liked how when I liked the sound effect they used there, because when the hammer hit the head, it switched back to the nurse trying to work with the walkie-talkie, and the walkie-talkie was sounding like high frequency.
Yeah.
So it kind of, for a minute there, it kind of confused you into thinking, wait, was what we heard, that high frequency, was that the sound of the shape smashing the hammer into the guy's head, or was it the walkie-talkie? For a minute there, you couldn't tell. It was like ping, you know, because it jumped back to the nurse working, and I thought it was good.
The death scenes in Halloween, wasn't that Tom Sorvini's angle?
No, Tom
He
Savini
never
wasn't
worked with the
involved in that.
franchise.
Yeah.
Not that I know of. No. I think
Yeah.
it would have looked 100 times better than if he was on the. To be honest with you, Tom Savini was behind the special effects of Halloween.
Yeah.
A lot of people will be talking about it to this
Yeah.
day,
Yeah,
because he would have made
pretty
it look
much.
100 times better.
But you got to also remember that it is not as gory as Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th had a more of a gore to it that required the prosthetics more than anything else. Halloween did too, but even in the original film, there was barely any blood. It wasn't
Because
even.
it was more of a story driven. It was more story.
It was more
like,
story driven, and it still scared the crap out of everybody, because it kind of goes to show you don't need to turn into a gore fest to scare the hell out of you.
And plus, Friday the 13th always based their movies on death kills.
Right. Pretty
Well,
much.
think of it like Psycho. Psycho is the number one
Yeah.
suspense, and you don't even see him stabbing her.
Right.
He's just doing this in the
Yeah.
shower, and
Yeah.
you see blood
Yeah.
just dropping in it. But it's so scary because you're like, damn. But it's But my number 3 would be Tom Atkins getting the loving in the oven. Oh yeah. Remember when he meets that girl and they go into the motel
You're
room?
talking about Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Which
call it
part?
Tom Atkins loving in the oven.
Loving in the oven. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
when he goes
which?
to the motel.
Yeah,
Remember
but they were there for a while. Like they kept on
Yeah.
loving in the oven for quite a while. Which part?
he just met
the
the
first
chick.
time? No, he didn't just. Well, yeah, he did.
He
but-
did just meet the chick.
He
And
did,
just took her. He was like, yeah, let me talk about you.
Now I gotta ask you guys something. Okay, in Halloween 3, this is what always got me
Okay.
in the hotel scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
When did they do the switch with the android and the girl? Because you find out later that she was an android.
It happened. It happened when they captured both of them.
Yeah.
And they separated them. That's when it happened. That, like when they separated them, and Conal Cochran had Tom Atkins tied to a chair, and he was talking to him about Samhain and all that.
But
stuff.
they never actually showed her after that.
Well, they showed. He asked him, "Where's the girl?" Remember that scene? Well, actually, he spoke to a robot old lady in a chair knitting needles, and he went in, and I liked his look. He was like, "Where's the girl?" I swear he looked just
it
like
was,
that. It
yeah,
was funny. I was like,
cheesy,
"This is a little bit going a little bit over the top, don't you think?" But okay.
Yeah.
You know, I like the guy. I met him. I actually met him at a great actor. He's done a lot of good movies. But he was like, "Where's the girl?"
Where's the girl?
You know, so. And then he shook the dummy, and the head fell out, and
Yeah.
you know,
But
yeah,
But the thing is, I would like to say though, is Halloween 3 is very underrated.
it is.
It's a very, I think, has a way good story. And if it did not have the Halloween name attached to it, and you just could have called it Season of the Witch, I'm telling you right now, I think it's a really good movie.
It is.
A lot of people are knocking it because you don't get the Michael Myers and all that crap, but
Well, they
I
do
kind of enjoy it
They do reference Michael Myers
on the
in
TV.
Halloween.
On the
When
TV, like right
on
before
TV,
yeah.
that he was captured.
Yeah, but
What? No, not that he was
It was
captured.
a commercial for the movie.
Right.
Oh, it was a commercial
Yeah,
for
it was
the
a
It was a
commercial.
commercial
Yeah, it was
for
like
the
Halloween,
movie.
this
Imagine that.
I
They just captured Michael Myers.
When in the beginning, I could have sworn in the beginning when the guy was in the hospital, the guy that stole the Shamrock.
Yeah, the mask.
That there was a TV that said that Michael Myers was either captured or killed.
No,
Mm-mm.
No.
It was when Tom Atkins was going into the factory or wherever the hell it was. You see a TV on the side, and it was like this October. It was like then you see like Michael Myers like walking up the stairs, and
this was
Jamie
actually
Curtis.
it was actually he was in a bar. This was before he started talking to the girl. He was in a bar. He was drinking, and he told he told the bartender to change the channel.
That's what it was.
And he changed the channel and went into a commercial about Halloween, the John Carpenter 1978 Halloween, brought to you by Happy Halloween, Halloween. And then he got pissed again. Come on, change the channel again. You know?
But I think it's a very good movie.
Yeah.
I think
can't wait
villain,
to watch
I think the guy that played the villain in this film,
Conal Cochran.
really, he did a very good job. He was very menacing.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
he was
was
very good, yeah.
He was
Yeah.
really good. Okay, Alex. All right, so that was your number 3. That was The Lovin' in the Oven.
Yep. By Tom
While the lady in the next room blew her mouth open with the freaking button. If you
Was it with the? Yeah, it was with the button.
yeah, she was playing with it, and here's some trivia. There's a little there's music playing in the background, like in the radio, and if you listen to that tune when she's playing with the button, and then the thing goes off into her mouth, that music is the exact same piece of music that is being played, if I'm correct, in The Fog.
Is it what?
In The Fog. John Carpenter's The Fog. It's playing, I think, in one of the radio in the radio station. God, am I right about that?
Adrian Barbeau scenes.
Yeah.
When she was like, "We're gonna stay with me a little bit longer."
Yeah. God.
Captain's out there.
I hope I'm right. I think I'm wrong. I don't know. I know I heard it in another John Carpenter movie, that same tune. But it wasn't a Halloween movie.
Well, you know what? You guys out there, if you hear that sound, let us know in the comments
Yeah.
below if you guys hear that track.
definitely.
Please, because I'll be like, yeah. You know, I need some confirmation here, guys, because I'm going to research this, obviously, after we talk. So, all right. My number 3 is, since we're talking about Halloween so much, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, funny enough, is my number
That's yours
3.
too?
Yeah, but it's the very last scene of the movie. The cliffhanger.
Yeah,
The
that was
big
a-
giveaway at 9.
Yeah.
Right? This is after he escapes, he blows up the factory, and the freaking Stonehenge stone zaps Conal Cochran out of existence, and he runs with the girl thinking it's the girl, and it's not, it's a robot, and he keeps fighting her even though she, you know, her hand is just her arm, and he's like, duh. Remember that part? It's just her arm. It's just her arm at this point, and he's still fighting the dang thing like this, and he's like, like that. Joint was hilarious. My sister used to crack up. Marilyn used to crack up on that part because it was funny. But then when he got to the gas station, and it's funny how it ends to where it started. It started at this gas station. The guy who owned the gas station, and he was like, "Hey, don't I know you?" Because he was the one who took the guy in the beginning of the movie to him in the hospital. He's a doctor. So he brings him in there, and it's 9 o'clock, the big giveaway starting. He's calling all the TV stations to make them stop, and and they start shutting it down, right? Like, first of all, I don't know how the heck he would have had the ability to do that joint, right? Like, to make, to stop that. But the third channel kept on going. And he was like, stop it. And then, you know, and you don't know, the kids, there are kids there with Silver Shamrock masks.
Yeah.
And then instead of grabbing those kids and saying, give me those effing masks, and throwing them out the window, right? And so what if the kids, you took my mask, you broke it. Hey, it saved your life. Right? You know, but that part, let me tell you, that pissed a lot of people off. When it ended there, stop it, and then the you know, then they heard the music, the Halloween music.
Yeah.
That one, this was the one. People were like, "Oh, that sucked." It didn't suck. I thought that was a cool cliffhanger. You never knew.
You know, and the thing is that thing I like about that movie was an open ending.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes for me. It made the movie way better. Was the open ending.
Yeah.
Because you have your own interpretation of what happens at the end.
Yeah.
It's not given to you, and I think that's why a lot of people don't like the movie because they want that ending. Like, how did it end? But I kind of like movies that give you an open ending. Like, you make your own choice. You think he lived or you think he died. Like, that's it.
Right.
And I like those 80 cheesy music, like in horror movies, because it makes it funny and actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So
I think if you had to rate Halloween as far as category, you would say that Halloween 3 is more of a suspenseful thriller. Rather than
psychological.
That psychological thriller.
Yeah.
Instead of the classic horror slasher films.
Well, it was. Yeah, it definitely wasn't slasher. It had a supernatural element, though.
Yeah.
It does.
You know.
More sci-fi-ish.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sci-fi
pretty much.
Horror.
Okay, guys, we're rounding down to the final 2 moments, even though we spoke about a hell of a lot more, which is great. What's your number 2, Jamel? What's your number 2?
My number 2 is from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And it's the ending scene where Laurie is in this long corridor, white corridor, with a bed. And she's just
You like that scene?
She's sitting there, and all of a sudden she just sees the mother.
Her mother.
Supposedly the brother and a horse. And
you like that?
You like that?
But let me just explain.
Okay.
This scene basically tells you how psychologically damaged she is. You thought that the trauma that she suffered from 1 to 2 really made her crazy. But
Jamel,
when she's just sitting there and she's just looking, you make it seem like, okay, they're ending it this way. I think either they're gonna make her the next killer, or they just wanted to just say flat out, she's actually like him.
Jamel, you said it was psychologically damaging to her to show that. You were with me that night. Do you realize how psychologically damaging it was for me to watch that shit?
It was psychologically damaged for you because you didn't like the film from the start.
I gave it a shot, dude. I gave it a shot. I
gave it a shot. Let me tell you something. Alex, let me explain something to you. That night, that after we watched it, Rob said that he liked Halloween 2. When me, Victor, and Pablo was saying, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "Was it the same movie that we saw?" And we would tell him why this movie was really bad at first.
I have a bad...
But he ended up seeing it for a second time, and then he actually realized why this movie was so bad.
But it was the same thing with Star Wars Last Jedi.
Yeah.
He got into it. He's like, he hated it. And then he sat down and watched it.
Yeah.
And now he slowly thinks it's a little bit
Well, now that I know, not to go off on a tangent, but now that I know that they didn't even have a plan for those 3 films, the Star Wars movies, everybody, let's just make it up as we go along. Screw that. All of 3 of them piss me off.
Well,
anyway,
they actually explained
that's another talk.
They actually explained what they did in the documentary. If you didn't see
I don't.
Force Awakens.
Sure.
No.
That's another.
We don't need documentary and books to figure out.
We don't need no.
You don't need no craziness for these years. No, but so my number 2. We're up to 2, right?
Yeah.
My number 2 is when I'm. It's kind of funny, but I want to go back to 2018 is when Laurie Strode has her. She's very equipped. She learned a lot of good.
She MacGyvered the whole house.
Yeah, she basically made that house into like a Home Alone house. Like, she
Yeah.
had it set up
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
So I kind of say that kind of is a big kind of moment for the character because she knew he was gonna come back for her. Now,
Yeah.
I did not like the way they hold this, that he's not the brother, and they made it seem like he's like an abuser that wants to come back for, it would make no damn sense for me story-wise, but I think that was a cool, something to give her, I guess like a trait.
Right.
Because in the first movie, she didn't have no trait. She was just a babysitter, and that's it. But now she's like, she's grown, and she can shoot. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I love when they threw her out the window. and she disappeared.
That was
My-
quite a callback, right?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And you know, fun fact.
What?
They built the original balcony of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, John Carpenter scrapped it. They scrapped the whole thing and they turned it into Laurie Strode's room in the house. They didn't want to reshoot it. Like, so basically, in short story, they built the whole room to re-edit the first part of the movie, how that ended.
Yeah.
John Carpenter was there with the new directors, and they were like, this is not going to work. So what they did was they remade it into a new part of the house, but it's exactly the same dimensions of her room in the original house. They just moved a lot of pieces.
Okay. That's good
So
to
if
know.
you look at the way it is shot,
Yeah.
it's exactly her room. They just they put different stuff, like mannequins here, because they just didn't need it no more, but they put it into the movie.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
All
So
right.
when she falls, she lands, she goes, and I was like, oh, she landed on the padding. But yeah, I know it was, yeah. So that's my number 2.
My number 2 is what I call The Chase. And I'm talking about the original 1978 classic. When Michael Myers finally reveals himself to Laurie, stabs her in the arm, she falls down the stairs, and then the chase begins.
Oh my god!
With that music, dun, 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 right? And he's
Yeah, they
chasing
go,
her.
ding,
People,
ding,
yeah, dun, dun. Do it. Do that part. I'll do it. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that's
Right?
That's scary.
That's scary, and people. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. That part was really good. That's the moment right there when you see Michael Myers in action, in real action. He's stalking her, right? The Shape is stalking Laurie Strode. She's trying to get out. He cracks through the door. And that's creepy enough. Like, this guy is crazy, and he busts through the door, and he's feeling around for the doorknob to open it, while she breaks the glass. Right? Why are you laughing? That wasn't funny.
No, because those scenes. I mean, yeah, it is memorable, but at the time, yes, it was scary. But when you watch it now, it's mad funny.
Well, the part when she gets to the door of her house and she's like, the keys.
Yeah, the keys. Tommy, open the door.
You know, I actually laughed at that scene. I was like, come on, give me a break. Your jeans cannot be that tight.
Oh my god.
Hey, it was
Just
78,
because
man.
the keys out.
She like, Tommy, open the door. And she said, all right.
I'm coming downstairs. Like, he didn't even act. He didn't notice that she was freaking out. And her neighbors suck. She was trying to get help from a neighbor, and they turn on the lights. They look, and they said, screw that shit. And turn off the...
And the thing is funny, she's screaming like a mad woman.
Yeah.
And nobody like turns on and looks for help.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, this neighborhood
dang.
sucks.
Is this Haddonfield or the Bronx?
Yeah. Tommy, open the
Oh, my God. I said something bad.
door. What you said?
Everybody in the Bronx is going to unsubscribe my channel now.
And then
I was
remember when
kidding.
she
I'm
took the yarn-
kidding. I live here.
the
I
yarn
still live in
thing?
the Bronx.
And then she goes, and he goes, and that's one of my favorite scenes.
Which one?
Is that?
What?
So she pokes him in the eye with the yarn, right?
With the hanger.
No. In the beginning when she
She
tells
didn't
Tommy-
poke him in the eye. She stabbed him in the neck.
Was it the neck? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, right here, right?
Yeah.
So she stabs him, right? She goes, and he goes, "This is how funny it is." He went.
I know what he's talking about.
He went.
He looked like he got down to lay down, not that he fell down. He was like,
Yeah, he went like that. He popped
hold
it out,
up.
and then he just went. Like he just, and I laughed so hard. And then when she's upstairs and she hits him with the hanger,
Yeah.
right? He
Yeah.
goes. You could tell it's so fake. Like he held it. Like she went. He went. Oh.
no, he didn't have the hanger in his eye. It didn't stay
I mean,
there.
yeah,
She
she
just
stabbed him
poked
in the eye. She went,
No,
bloop.
she stabbed him in the eye. He went like this. He drops the knife. She grabs the knife and stabs him with the knife, and then that's when he falls.
Yeah, but come on, those were funny scenes, man.
It was still good.
It was
No,
still
but
good,
then it wasn't funny when he got back up after that, right?
Oh no, it wasn't.
That was
'Cause
creepy.
She was tired. She was like, oh.
Afar,
like-
Yeah, I love
Talking
that.
to the kids, you just see him just go.
She sent the kid. Yeah, he just got.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jamel.
Yeah.
Went right into the camera like.
Please call Doctor.
Go to the Mackenzie's house. Why is there always a
Yeah.
Mackenzie's house in these films? By the way,
Yeah, she was like, just go across the street. Just
every horror movie has a Mackenzie's house. Like the Mackenzies are always there. Like
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to. Just do what I say. And then she sits there and she's like,
And then he
you see,
gets
like, him
up.
come up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see my boy Loomis come out. He goes. She's like, is that the boogeyman? Of course it's the
But she is called the Queen of Scream, you know.
Yo, that's my boy Loomis now. I'm gonna put that in my phone. He's like, I'm going to the boogeyman. And then
Oh,
but it's
stop
funny
it.
because part 2 they changed the beginning though.
oh god.
Because he came out from the bottom, but didn't he see him on top? See him over the balcony?
Yeah.
And he disappeared?
Yeah.
So I thought that was crazy. I told my wife, I said, wait a minute, but I thought the first movie ended with him on top, and then he was like,
He's on the balcony looking down and
Mhm.
he sees that he's gone. But in the beginning of part 2,
he's outside.
1981, he runs outside and sees. That's when he sees, and he looks shocked there. I'm like, dude, didn't you see it up there?
And it's funny because when he
Yeah.
falls, which I laugh because he fell into the lawn,
Yeah.
but then when he came out the door, he checked him right in front of the door. So I was like, how the hell did he land? Like, okay, whatever, man. Like the wind blew him right in front of the door.
I don't know.
Bloop.
He got up and
Oh.
moved off anyway.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bust the move. It's impossible. Show him 6 times.
You're killing me, dude. Stop it. Oh my god, it's terrible.
So number 1.
Yeah, number 1. We're finally got, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an hour and it's the number 1. You know, and we can have an honor, like we haven't had a billion honorable mentions at this point. I have a specific one, but go ahead, Jamel. What's your number 1 Halloween moment?
My number 1 is from Halloween H2O.
Ugh.
And
Go
it's
ahead.
Laurie versus Michael Myers.
Oh, when they
Nice.
fought?
The epic final scene.
The Battle of the Ages.
Yeah, but it's funny because when you mentioned that Laurie got stabbed by the knife on her arm,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the right.
Yeah.
they actually redid that scene where I don't know if you remember Michael was hanging. I don't know how is it that you just see him coming from above and you just see him just coming down really slow. And he
Oh,
takes
yeah.
the knife and he actually cuts her right where the scar is at, and he reopens that same scar.
I didn't know. You know what? I've only seen that movie like 2 times, but that detail I did not pick up on.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
he actually opens that same scar,
Okay.
and it's like they're running around like it's like they're reacting the scene from part 1 in the house, but in a big school.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So she opens the door with the closet. She's like, "Fuck!" And I was like, "I'm not gonna do that again," and just runs off. And I could tell you that scene was really good, and they couldn't have done that scene any different, in my opinion.
Sorry. It's not you, Jamel. Alex.
Or do you want me to talk like this and say the battle of the
No.
Sexes versus Laurie?
Mio, man. That's bad. It's just bad.
No, but
Go ahead.
my number 1.
What's your number 1?
What would I pick for numero uno that I enjoyed? This is like the most I enjoyed, right? Like
Yeah.
the scene that I enjoyed.
Sure.
I'm gonna have to say, I'll say, you know what? I'm gonna go with it. Halloween 1.
The
I'm
first
gonna
one?
say Halloween 1. Yeah,
The
first
original?
one. Yeah,
What scene?
the scene where they're watching The Thing,
Yeah.
and it's when her friend is like hearing the dog bark, and then all you hear is because he choked the shit out of it. You see the dog, like he just choked the crap out.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, it's not memorable, but you kind of see, like, you could tell, like, this is like the final, like, this is it. Like, he's getting he's getting to her, and the whole Judith thing when the tomb is in the bed after he killed her.
Oh, when right
goes up.
before the chase, so like when she goes
Yeah.
upstairs and finds Annie dead on the bed
And it has
with the
Judith
tombstone.
Myers.
Here lies Judith Myers.
Yeah, I
That
like
was
that.
that was great.
That was
that-
badass.
That's a memorable shot
Yeah.
right there. You see that same tombstone in Halloween 2018. The exact same tombstone. I don't know if you noticed that. They went to the
No.
cemetery. Yeah. Yeah, they went to the cemetery. I think it was the podcasters. They went to the cemetery
Oh, okay.
and to visit the grave to film a little bit there. And Michael that's how he followed them. Michael was already there. He was by
That's
the tree.
what it was. Yes.
And they were already near Haddonfield because they went to interview Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
And that's when Michael Myers said, okay, I'm going to follow these guys. And that's how he was able to stalk them down to the gas station. That's the connect. Okay, got it. Very good, Alex.
I actually thought you were gonna pick that scene with Dr. Loomis in the beginning when Michael already escaped.
Oh, in the car?
Yeah, in the
Yes,
car.
that was
Like,
my scene too. How did he know to drive? Someone can give him lessons. He did a pretty good job last night. So in my own eyes. Go up to the gate. Go to the gate. Remember when they pulled up and they saw the people walking? And then Michael Myers he pulled off the crazy Spider-Man move.
He did. He climbed up on the yeah.
I was like, how the hell did he jump that high? He went
Yeah,
like
he was good.
like this. Yeah,
He
was
just
really
climbed
good.
up to the top of the car.
Yeah, and then he grabbed the chick and then she jumped out.
Oh, I like
And
what he did with the hand when he broke the glass. Oh yeah, that was the sign of a maniac right there, man. I
Yeah,
was like,
you
yo,
knew that.
was good,
He was
man.
like, "You okay?" He was like, "Go get help." I was like, "Oh my god."
Stop! He's gone. He's gone from here. The evil is gone.
Yeah, I told you guys. I told you guys a lot of times, and you guys didn't listen to me.
Yo, you gotta stop.
the evil is gone.
Yeah, pretty much. Yo, you gotta stop.
Evil.
Okay, so okay, my number one, ladies and gentlemen, I am dying here. Please understand. If I don't make it through the month, it's Alex's fault. My number one, actually, I have an honorable mention. Halloween 2. I said this earlier. Halloween 2 is actually, I love Halloween. Halloween 1 and 2 are kind of like the same narrative as far as I'm concerned. Okay. But Halloween 2 is when it really gets good and dark and crazy, and and in Halloween 2, the climax of the film in the third act when Michael stalks Laurie to the hospital lobby. Dr. Loomis is already in the lobby, right? With the nurse and the marshal, the U.S. Marshal.
Yes.
And Michael Myers walks through the glass. That was amazing. He walked right through and you hear the music, that kind of thing. And he shoots him a few more times and he falls and Marshall is like, he's dead. And he's like, no, look at him. He's still breathing. Right?
Yeah.
And what? No, but he didn't listen to him, and then he cut his throat, and then he chased then you hear the music again, dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun. Go ahead, Alex. Come on, dun, 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 dun. But this time in the Hollywood, in the hospital, and that has always been my favorite scene in that movie. Okay, alongside the opening credits of the movie itself. The opening credits of the movie, you know how like you had the pumpkin in the original film? The one in Halloween 2 was even bigger and creepier looking, and how it cracks open to revealing a skull on the inside. Right? This movie was directed by Rick Rosenthal. It wasn't directed by John Carpenter. Deborah Hill, I think produced, I don't know. I know he did production of it. Him and Deborah Hill produced it, or I believe. I could be off on the writing and producing, but and he did the music with Alan Howarth for Halloween 2. but Rick Rosenthal directed it, and he did a great job with that film. Amazing job. That movie to this day still holds to me as I watch it every Halloween when I get a chance. After the kids are done trick or treating, after everything is done, and we're back home, and everybody gets out of their costumes and chill. That's the movie I always put on. Here's another Ralph trivia.
Ooh, Ralph trivia.
Ralph trivia.
Mm-hmm.
I used to actually, when I was in high school, I used to stay home. I didn't go to school on Halloween when I was in high
that's
school.
right. I think you were telling me, yeah.
I used to stay home all day. I was in the house by myself. Everybody else went to work, went to school. I stayed home. Every Halloween for 4 Halloweens, actually 3. I went on Halloween in 9th grade, but 10th, 11th, and 12th, I stayed home. And those 3 years, I would I would just watch horror movies all day. I would watch The Omen and all 3 Halloweens. And then all 3 Omens. I swear, I would just go on a marathon, and I'd be, and then at night, I'd enjoy Halloween, the festivities at night. But boy, man, those were the days. Oh, that was a lot of fun.
You know what? I'm amazed when I'm looking at the list and the stuff that you guys picked.
Yeah.
No one actually picked the scene from Halloween 2 where the workers are inside the lunchroom watching the news.
Oh.
And that orderly, I forgot his name, but he was the most funniest character in Halloween, where he comes out and starts singing.
Amazing Grace, come sit on my face. That crap.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah. I was like, wow, okay, no one picked that. And it's funny because from Halloween 2 to Halloween 1, 2, and on, trying to find a scene that is memorable of this list is like I said, it's kind of hard.
It is hard because there's a lot of good memories. Another good one is when that guy got killed and the nurse that he was with in the hot tub.
Oh my God!
Her skin
what
peeling.
Has a hot tub like that?
Huh?
Can someone explain to me? My wife works in a hospital. She goes, "We have no hot tub like that." I was like, "That's the '80s, bro." That was like a general hospital. People get it on.
That was, I think, you know what I thought it was? I thought it was for like therapeutic purposes.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
but
but then you see her skin peeling, and he's dunking her head in again and again and again. Oh man, that music was crazy. It was like, that's all you heard while he was doing that, and it was creepy as heck. It was freaky, man. I was like, yo.
You know what's funny? That hospital in Halloween 2 didn't really look like a hospital. It looked more like a clinic from the outside.
Yeah, it did.
Well, yeah. They called it a clinic, actually, if I'm correct. I mean, Haddonfield Memorial Clinic. Yeah, that's what it was called.
Yeah.
That's how Michael Myers knew where Laurie was, because the guy with the radio was walking, and he was listening to the news, and it said Haddonfield, Laurie Strode was taken to Haddonfield, and then that's when he accidentally bumps into Michael and then keeps walking. Then Michael...
And it was mad Looney Tunes, because he walks to the he walks to the street, and then you see a sign. Hospital that way. And he just went.
Hey, well, right? I guess you knew how to read, right?
No, I know, but I'm just saying it was just mad Looney Tunes. It was just like you had 2 lines. It was like this. It was just like Laurie Strode.
That way, right? That way, yeah.
He was just like, okay.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna kill you. This is time. This time. This time. I'm gonna kill you this time.
Silver Shamrock.
Yeah.
But, man.
So,
guys,
our moments.
Those are our moments, and this is gonna be such an active month, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be helping out Alex with Levels of Horror. Him and David. What's the channel David is again?
Flicks Talk.
Flicks Talk. We talk about flicks.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna definitely cover that, and we're gonna talk more about Michael Myers, Dr. Loomis. You made me see Dr. Loomis in a different light, Alex.
It's funny. Now I kind of screwed it up for myself, too. Because now when I see him, I'm going to think of Macho Man. Like speaking.
No. Don't worry about it. Don't.
He's the Macho Loomis.
He's the Macho Loomis. Get right.
Laurie Strode, get over here.
Get over here right now.
Wasn't he was the president in Escape from New York, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I am a #1 Duke. Those two. And
And he
shoots him up, and then
was the
pulls him
priest.
up, that was the thing.
He was the priest and Prince of Darkness. Also, that was another John Carpenter film.
And I think he was Blofeld in 007. He was Blofeld.
Okay.
I think
So-
he was the big villain in 007. He was
Yeah,
Blofeld.
yeah. And he played one of the three kings in Jesus of Nazareth in 1977. I'm just throwing out all the stuff. I don't care.
We're throwing out all the names of Donald.
all the names, all the Donald Trump, Donald
Trump.
Pleasance. Sorry. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us in this top 5 Halloween Michael Myers. Okay, definitely. If you liked what you saw here, please consider subscribing. Tap on that bell button below for future notifications for future Horror and Coffee content. Okay, Alex, tell us about your channel, please.
All right, Levels of Geek is everything that we cover from cinema news all the way to 4K reviews, any newest topics on cinema, DC, Marvel. We cover it live with a live community that's very fun, interactive.
Love it.
You could call in, you could talk in the chat. Basically, the community runs the show every Monday and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. And then for you comic book heads, me and Jamel run a DC Now and Forever on Fridays at 9 p.m. And we cover anything for beginner readers that is learning DC all the way up to the current readers that want to refresh anything on DC. And it's basically a journey from A to Z in the world of DC. And then every time a new movie comes out, we're going to give character spotlights and break down the characters in the comic book. So when you watch the movie, you kind of understand what that character is about. And pretty much we are right now in the Flashpoint. We cover the source material, and then we compared and contrast the comic book source material to the animated series. So check out those videos. Those are up now on the channel. But that's pretty much it. That's what Levels of Geek is all about.
Awesome.
And you can follow me on Instagram on Levels of Geeks.
Jamel, tell us about your channel, Jedi versus the Dark Side, please.
You can follow me at Jedi vs. the Dark Side on YouTube, where we cover not only comics, but film and novels as also. And you can also catch me on my Facebook page, The Order Jedi vs. the Dark Side.
Awesome. I'm going to be putting links below for you guys to click on to check out their channels. They have great channels. They have great content. Make sure you support. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tap their bells. That didn't sound right. Yeah, make sure you like what you see and click on that like also for, and again, future notifications. Very important to continue the algorithm going within our channels. This is a community. This is something that we want to continue to grow. Horror and Coffee is approaching 10 years of existence since its inception back in February of 2010. As of this February, it's going to be very interesting.
But not on YouTube, though, right? It's not 10 years on YouTube.
It had, yeah. That's how it
Okay.
started. It started, but I'm not going to,
No. I was just.
Well, no, it's cool. We're gonna I'll definitely visit that later on in a couple more months. But it's quite a journey. Strange Planet NYC, and then Horror and Coffee again. It became Horror and Coffee thanks to these two gentlemen talking me back into bringing it back to its roots, which I very much appreciate. Again, gentlemen and ladies, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching what we did. What are your favorite Halloween moments? Talk to us, comment below, and share with us what you think is your favorite Michael Myers or Halloween in general moments. This is Ralph Perez. This is
Alex Figueroa.
And this is
Jamel Lopez.
And we shall see you next time. And remember, don't forget the big giveaway at 9.
It's the Horror Coffee mug.
The Horror and Coffee mug. That's the big giveaway. Yeah! Right there!
I shot him 6 times!
Later, guys.